a real game changer for the road to the White House. News 18's Brad Oppenheim joins us now to explain more about the delegate process and talks with one of Indiana's delegates who will play a role in choosing which Republican candidate accepts the nomination. Brad.
Thanks, Gina. Only one of Indiana's 57 GOP delegates going to the Republican National Convention is from the WLFI viewing area. There's been hype and controversy along the campaign trail because this campaign season has been like no other. Barb Knockel is excited to be an important part of this historical election. With the GOP candidate field narrowing down, things are interesting leading up to the Republican National Convention this summer.
I think there's a good chance we could see any of the three right now.
Prior to the general election in November, a selection process, known as the convention, takes place to determine and nominate the candidate who will appear on the ballot. Before that, a primary election takes place in each state and U.S. territory to narrow the field of candidates from the party. This is where the delegates come into play.
Well, I've always wanted to be a delegate to the National Convention, and this is the first time for me, and so I thought, I really picked a good one.
Delegates are responsible for deciding which candidate receives the party's nomination. Delegates are usually politicians, party leaders, activists, or just supporters. District delegates, like Knockel, were voted on by a district officer and chosen last week. At-large delegates were selected this week by the state Republican Party. Delegates can play a major role in the nomination process.
It's just like anything you do in your life. You never know what the risks are.
Last weekend, Indiana GOP leaders received threats from some Donald Trump supporters. After looking into the threats, the Indiana State Police determined they were not criminal and no legal action could be taken.
It's a little disconcerting, but we have a responsibility to do.
In Indiana, your vote counts. At-large delegates are bound to vote for the candidate who receives the most votes in Indiana. District delegates vote for the candidate who receives the most votes from their congressional district. Knockel is a trustee for Washington Township and vice chair in the 4th Congressional District for the Indiana State Republican Party. She and the rest of the GOP delegates will be in Cleveland for the Republican National Convention from July 18th through the 21st. Brad Oppenheim, News 18.